My brother's girlfriend's son is a teenager now. He's starting to get into music. I showed him DRI. He loved it, right? But I will not take him to a DRI concert.
But why?
He'll get his ass pummeled. I'll recommend to him to go to this like all ages venue where he can hang out with kids his own age. A band I like that's not violent. I don't want him pummeled.
Well, duh.
Like there's this venue out here called Chain Reaction's, it's an all ages venue. Most of his friends are helicopter parents, and he just wants to go somewhere with his friends. I'm like, dude, Chain Reaction's perfect. It's actually just for helicopter parents because there's plenty of places within a mile or two away in case they want to rescue their kids. 2 miles away from this place called the Doll Hut where you can see a band play. If that's too lowbrow for you, you know it's also 2 miles away from there? Downtown Disney.
That sounds like a pretty good idea.
This video is not sponsored by Ridge Wallets, because who needs a Ridge wallet when you get a wallet chain?
Stupid! You're so stupid!
After all, you ain't gonna watch this video, but if you do, like, comment, and subscribe to make the algorithm not
Fuck me!
And if you really like what you see here, support us on Patreon.
stop fucking the fornicators. 'Tis I, your fearless leader, and
What the fuck is going on?
first off, let's start this rant with the greatest news we have heard in a long time. Kathleen Kennedy, as in,
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
it's finally gone.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. The wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
Talk about unlucky 13.
Star Wars was once a license to print money, and now it's one of the hardest jobs ever.
We had 13 years of just taking a shit on Star Wars.
Tell me, what was your favorite aspect of her tenure? Was it her stunning and brave decision to relaunch a multi-billion-dollar franchise with a trilogy of movies that had no particular plan or creative roadmap? Was it her savvy move of hiring an arrogant, pretentious wannabe auteur with zero respect or understanding of the franchise, and then giving him a creative blank check to write the middle entry of a trilogy where he ended up killing off most of the major storylines and characters?
Looking back, would you change anything in your script, or do you stand by all your choices?
Nope, stand by every choice. Stand by every choice. Stand by every choice.
Maybe it was the way she wisely failed to properly manage her writers and directors, hiring people who were totally unsuited to the task at hand and leading to costly replacements midway through production. Was it her inspired choice to scrap the hugely popular expanded universe that had been slowly built up over decades, only to realize later that her functionally retarded story group wasn't able to come up with any good ideas of their own, forcing them to steal characters and storylines from the very media that they erased?
One thing that kept Star Wars alive while it was on hiatus till they had the prequel series.
For God's sakes, your shitty movies made the horrible prequels good.
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
I'd say be optimistic about it, but we all know Disney has her head up their fucking asses. Her replacement will probably be some cunt like fucking Leslie Headland, but not Leslie Headland. When you look at the stupidity of Viacom with Star Trek, you gave Alex Kurtzman, a guy who failed with the Dark Universe, and you gave him your biggest franchise. And Filoni...
There's no point getting rid of an idiot if you're just going to replace them with a retard.
Isn't that special? Kathleen Kennedy says she's not retiring, looking for an eventual succession plan for the new leader of Lucasfilms.
That's right. I want someone to continue ruining Star Wars, even after I'm gone.
And no, I'm not going to bring up the whole, this bitch, because A, it's just right-wing propaganda, double standard, and B, she's not that good of an actress. She's up there with Hermione, shit actor, who you all praise for your political beliefs. As for anything else, Invincible on Amazon Prime is back, motherfucker, with season 3. And first 3 episodes, all I can say is it totally makes up for season 2. Season 2 was just disappointing. This one, a lot of shit happens.
I mean, come on!
Oliver got his powers and gotten dark as shit. And we also see Cecil's fucking origin story and how he used to be morally black and white and then realized that slogan, you can be the hero or you can save the world. You can't do both.
Well, duh!
Then there was episode 4, and oh my god, talk about fan service done right. First, can we just say how awesome Eve and Mark's relationship is?
Come on!
It's not with that fucking cunt Amber.
Oh, snap.
You just talked!
Not to mention, their date almost got cut short because time-traveling twins, voiced by Miguel from Cobra Kai,
Fuck yeah!
And speaking of Cobra Kai, Part 3 of Cobra Kai Season 6 finally premiered. And oh my god, everything was properly concluded. Yeah, I had a few complaints. Where the fuck was Hilary Swank and where the fuck was Mike Barnes? But, you know, that's okay. As for all the proper conclusions, I mean, we got to see Miguel versus the Iron Dragon douchebag. We got to see Tori fight that influencer bitch. That was cool. Chosen finally ended up having a romantic relationship, and oh yeah, she kills her grandpa. John Kreese and fucking Terry Silver fight to the death on a fucking yacht and then explode. That was unexpected, over the top, and fucking awesome. And then finally, Johnny fights the Good Wolf. And all in all, good conclusion. And I am very skeptical of Karate Kid Legends. Get on with it! In their future, there's a evil dictator, ends up being the Immortal, and I found out from behind the scenes stuff that it's actually a robot. Then Mark goes back to his timeline. Then we get what happened to Omni-Man and Alan the Alien and their escape from the Viltrumites. And the return of motherfucking Battle Beast, voiced by Worf. Brutal. Then it was episode 5, and all I gotta say is that would be a waste of time. It was basically a filler episode. The only thing cool about it was the origin of Duplicate and Multipole. And what Multipole said, which is, we're just weapons who always serve their usefulness. There's no real difference between working for a crime syndicate and working for the government. And that's basically it. The next episode after that totally makes up for the waste of time that was episode 5.
I mean, come on.
Episode 6? Oh my fucking god. Why couldn't they just went straight to this episode in the first place? So much shit happens, but not enough. Let's go on the side plot shit. Found out that Shrinking Ray's pregnant, so she's quitting, and Rex might quit too, because Rex is growing up. It's one of those things where you know they're building up to him dying. Oliver's getting practice beating up the elephant, which is a parody of the Rhino, but he's like an annoying vegan. And now the main plot. Powerplex, voiced by Aaron Paul, you know, Jesse Pinkman. He's basically their version of Electro, and he wants revenge. He blames Invincible, because of course he does. Like, he's just one of those villains who just blames Invincible to blame people. Similar to another villain we'll talk about later. Oh my god. The entire time I just kept going, shut up, Jesse Pinkman. The entire fucking time. They fight, and in the process he accidentally killed his wife and son. That's the best way to describe this episode. You were the douchebag. The post-credit. Angstrom Levy's back. Then the next episode is the Invincible War, and it's not as good as the comics, because all these variants of Mark conquering the world and the entire Image universe fought them back. And this one, obviously they didn't have copyright, if you will. The only thing cool that happened is Conquest showed at the end. Then it was the fucking finale, and whoa. What a fucking epic finale. Similar to season 1, but this time it's with Conquest versus Mark. And Mark gets his ass pummeled. Even Oliver comes in and gets pummeled. And then Eve comes today and gets pummeled, then comes back to life, and they fucking annihilate Conquest. To the point where he's basically just smashed goo. Then we cut to Rex's funeral. Then Mark and Eve finally get privacy and shag. Then we get a sneak preview of the next season, which is Sequids are on Earth. Battle Beast gets rescued from space. Angsom's still around, has to get the cybernetic arm, working with the technicians. And of course, we get a post-credit with their parody of Hellboy. And apparently it's not in the comics, is a fairly new thing. Best season ever, hands down. Better than season 1. Totally makes up for season 2. Saw the new Fantastic Four trailer.
It's madmen with superpowers. I'm anti-Pedro Pascal, but I always say, judge the art, not the artist.
I mean, come on.
Peter Dinklage is a douchebag, but I like the fucking thick.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
For being a Tubi original, it's pretty badass. Juliette Lewis is very unrecognizable, and fucking James Hetfield's in it, which is appropriate for our next segue into our next segment, which is NAMM. But before I continue, let's get to today's sponsor, Ridge Wallet. Fuck that shit. It's all about wallet chains. Why? If you get a Ridge Wallet, you're a sitting duck and you'll get robbed. Use a wallet chain. You can use it as a weapon, and there was a motherfucking thing.
And last with the uncivilized.
Hashtag get off my lawn.
First day was basically Tuesday. I was in Anaheim till, I want to say Wednesday to Thursday. Because Tuesday was Ultimate Jam Night at the Whiskey. Bumper what it was, blah, blah, blah. Then on Wednesday was the Metal Hall of Fame at the Grand Theater down the street from the convention center. Pretty awesome sized venue, good sized stage. Mind you, this place used to be a fucking Toys R Us.
What did you say, dickhead?
I'll repeat myself.
So I was at the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame at a Toys R Us. What? Shout out to Brooke and Dave for giving us passes for that.
Oh yeah!
And I'm glad David got better. After that, we tended to Wednesday's party for you know, their usual 3-bar Sinister night.
Should have stayed at Anaheim. Next day.
I got Minions!
Nice.
Pinky and Joker were there, and they were doing my dirty work. They were passing out flyers for me. Got my King Liquor, represent. Fuck yeah! Also, Fraser and Pinky broke up.
Welcome to your doom.
She's with Joker now, kind of. But
Whatever.
the next day was actually the big day. It's weird how NAMM is the big days on Friday instead of Saturday. There's no events at the Grove. I avoid the fucking House of Blues like a fucking plague because it's a Live Nation event and they're strict on even wallet chains. And any place that's more strict than Lily has a jail cell can eat a dick. So I avoid that. But we ended up going to the Grand Theater again from LA Guns. So yes, a national act was playing. Unlike last year, we're just basically all-star jam, aka what I like to call rock and roll fantasy camp. That's what NAMM's become because of the fucking being open to the public and trying to get rid of people like me. But yeah, saw LA Guns. It was fucking badass. Got Pinky and Joker in. They had fun.
Come on!
Sure, I joke around and make fun of LA Guns for being Plan B for Guns N' Roses fans. But how appropriate that I saw them at Toys R Us.
Oh, snap.
After that, I partied all night, blah, blah, blah. The next day was the Saturday, and it was kind of dead. It was packed during the day, because I never go to the trade show, because, again, I'm not allowed to go in where my makeup is, bathrooms. But I ended up going to Iron Maiden's at, again, Toys R Us, and my makeup...
Nag, 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 nag!
I got on VIP for everything else, but yet I had someone spot me for the fucking cover bands.
Foreshadowing for the rest of the year is how I see NAMM is.
And all I gotta say is this year, better than last year, but still shit.
But why?
We don't have the big sector events at the Grove because companies to collaborate get the big venues. And fuck you, Bob Iger. And that's also my big
Nag, 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 nag!
They're strict as fuck when it comes to smoking, which sucks because I like to combine my smoking and my drinking. I call it peanut butter and jelly. You can't have one without the other.
Whatever.
Then the following weekend, I went to the Viper Room and I went to the Whiskey for Calabrese. On the after hours, blah, blah, blah. Hung out with my old boy Octavius. Place. And the next day was Fire Escape Telethon, hosted by Jeffrey Dahmer. I got there at 4, and I was there from 4 to 1, but I drank myself to death because the only food they had around there was ice cream, and then walking distance was Taco Bell. Taco Bell and alcohol do not mix. Since then, I've been hiding out, binge watching Tubi, as well as Hulu and Netflix. And I've been finding a lot of fucking treasures on there. Did you know there was a mini-series of Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett that came out in 2008? Yeah, watch that. And it came out right after fucking Lord of the Rings. It has both Sean Astin and Christopher Lee, as well as a bunch of other stars. It's cheesy, it's whimsical, it's cute. Also on Tubi, I went on a, what I call, bad sci-fi movie marathon. First I watched Space Hunter, Adventures in the Forbidden Zone, starring Peter Strauss and Molly Ringwald. And dude, that movie's awesome. I don't give a fuck what people want to say it's bad. It's fucking awesome. Yes, Molly Ringwald's the worst part about it, but you got Michael Ironside as the main villain, Overdog, and you can totally tell that it was a 3D movie back when it came out. It has Ernie Hudson in it, the practical effects, and just the whole aesthetic is awesome.
Come on!
It's about a bounty hunter named Wolf who has to track down these basically space supermodels who get marooned on a desert planet that's basically a Mad Max the planet. What's funny about it is it takes place in probably 2050, but yet we have way more advanced shit than it needs to be. And the dialogue, you can totally tell it just got lazy, but it's still fucking awesome. I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid. After that, I watched Space Truckers with Dennis Hopper, Debbie Mazar when she was still hot, and Cecil B. Demented himself. The name does not lie. It's exactly what you think it is. It's space truckers gotta go on one last run to Earth to deliver what they think are sex robots, but they're actually killer robots. And even has space pirates in it. And speaking of space pirates, I also watched The Ice Pirates. That movie is cheesy, it's bad. It's the same guy who did Tammy and the T-Rex. It stars Robert Urich and Bing Crosby's daughter, as well as a very young Ron Perlman and Angelica Houston. The robots are stupid as shit. The costuming is whatever. And yeah, that movie's fucking badass too. Then I switched to Netflix and I finally watched Saturday Night, the biopic about Saturday Night Live. It reminded me a lot of Birdman, just a big scatterbrain behind the scenes, but of course I just recently dealt with that type of behind the scenes thing, helping out Jeffrey with the telethon, and like the casting's great. Primarily, the ones that really stood out to me was the Chevy Chase, played by Riddler from fucking Gotham himself. The John Belushi was just a dead ringer, more so than even Michael Chiklis in Wired. Then Dan Aykroyd, Garrett, like, must have been his son. Oh, and the George Carlin. And it was really funny seeing Finn Wolfhard playing like the Ticket boy. But all in all, that movie was pretty badass. I'm glad I watched it. After that, I watched the Jerry Springer documentary series. It was just a 2-part series. Iffy on it. Then I switched to Hulu, and I watched an underrated gem that not a lot of people talk about called Robots. Not to be confused with the 2005 animated movie. No, this one was actually good. It's a rom-com about a womanizer and a gold digger who have robots do their dirty work for them, and their robots hook up and trying to ruin their lives. Come on! It reminds me of You're the Worst if they had robots. A lot of people want to talk shit on it because it has a somewhat of a political message in the beginning of the movie, because the very beginning of the movie takes place in the near future of 2030 something, right? And they finally build a wall and all the Mexicans are out. So they replace all the Mexicans with robots, and it's illegal to have a robot double of yourself. That's basically the premise. And the main character, which is the guy from Bad Education, finally meets his match, and then they accidentally swap fucking addresses, and the two robots hook up and they fall in love, and I relate to it because it's almost like therapy to me.
No, and then
Following week, I went to 3 clubs for a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and well, fuck Led Zeppelin. Sorry, I know this is blasphemy, but
go fuck yourself.
I ended up just going to a Wednesday party
Tomorrow.
the motherfucking Meteors, because I want to see a real fucking band, not no fucking cover band, because fuck cover bands. Meteors, badass psychobilly. They kind of remind me of, like, think of psychobilly Motorhead. What? My only nitpick about it was no stand-up bass. What the fuck? After that, after hours, blah, blah, blah. Next night, we all went to the fucking bondage ball. Yes, we're back at the bondage ball. Ran into a few other friends, saw Jeffrey Dammit, and I spent a lot of money.
Stupid!
Then after that, went to the after hours, and then here's a shocker. On the way home, met up with a certain ex. Yeah.
Oh shit! Shut up and get to the point!
So, about to fall asleep on the wheel on the way home. I was like, fuck it, you're in La Puente, that's literally in between my house and fucking Hollywood. I'll stop and meet you at your motel.
No, and then
The next day was Super Bowl Sunday.
Football season is over, Veronica. Curtin Ram had nothing to offer the school but date rapes and AIDS jokes.
Then on the following Monday, I had to bring Crazy Chrissy her glasses, shagged her, and... You saw the video we're talking about. Like, you know, she went insane. And since she has, like, bad, like, mental health issues, she doesn't remember any of it.
no, and then
2 days later was Wednesday's party. It was raining cats and dogs. But I said, fuck it, I'll go anyway. While there, I ran into my homegirl Marina and her homegirl Darcy, and they fought over me. So yeah, good karma got me good karma. And no, I didn't score, which sucks, but you know, it's just the thought that counts. And getting closer to me being my old self again. And the next day, oh dude, talk about an adventure. My homeboy Shane and his lady Megan, and they picked me up from Temecula and take me to West LA for the premiere of Everyone Dies. And yeah, it was cool. I mean, like, a lot of people I knew there, like Ralph and Nikki from KrashKarma was there. Obviously, my friend Eric from Boyd Vader, who I didn't know he was in Society 1. Jay Gordon from Orgy was there. And yeah, the documentary, it's kind of a vanity project. There's parts in there like I kind of want to go, no, you did not invent sex rock. But the Sea Snakes invented sex rock.
When the Sea Snakes would perform at the Masquerade, on occasion I would go over and get on stage with them and do some performances.
And the hook suspension thing, that was cool. There were parts in there where it's just like me. And the thing is, Matt Zane's not a narcissist like that. So like, he should have had like an outside source help him with his documentary. I mean, he's a filmmaker, I get it. I mean, is it as bad as like a Neil Breen thing? Or Tommy Wiseau? No. I know you guys never seen the Lynch Mob documentary DVD that came out like in 2003. Shout out to Tony DePetro, who is the guitar tech with it, but kind of reminded me of that interview of George Lynch where he's going, you don't understand what it's like to be a rock god. And in fact, when they did the Q&A at the end, my question I asked them was, have you thought about making a drinking game out of this? If I played the drinking game, I'd be dead. Because, you know, here's the rules. Rule 1, take a shot every time you see tits. Take a shot every time you see hook suspension. Take a shot every time you see somebody you actually know. Or in the sake of people who aren't in my Hollywood circle, take a shot every time you see a rock star. Take a shot every time he starts starts to get more about me. Mind you, I'm spoiled when it comes to documentaries. Have you seen the TSOL documentary? Have you seen A Clockwork Orange County? And have you seen the fucking Melvins documentary? And of course, recently, have you seen You Cannot Kill David Arquette? I'm not gonna talk shit. I'm not. It was good for what it was. I like that I was there, and shout out to Eric for inviting me. After that, Jane and Megan dropped me off at 3 clubs and saw another fucking cover band. And it was Valentine's Day, and well, let's be real here. Obviously didn't have a date, so I decided to do my usual, go to the Sunset Strip, and it was Metal Mayhem Friday at the Rainbow, and I really didn't pay attention to the bands. Ran into my homeboy Depressed Doug, and he wasn't an annoying energy vampire. Got me a few shots at the liquor store, and we tried to go to the Whiskey for Pentagram, but the show was over. So we ended up going to the Viper Room, saw a few bands, and not bad. After that, did the usual after hours, blah, 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 party too hard. Then I, slept most of the day. Lo and behold, we were gonna all go to take the limo to the Valley for our friend Potbelly Brian's birthday. I don't call him Potbelly Brian, everybody else does, but I just call him Brian, he's the homie. And not bad. Then went to the after hours, then we dropped off the limo back at Octavia's, went back to the after hours, then party at one friend's house, then party at another friend's house, then went to the Taco Bell Cantina, and I don't know how the fuck I'm still standing.
Holy fuck! That was diabolical!
Needless to say, we didn't go to the vampire ball, and, well, there's multiple reasons why I didn't go to that anyway, other than being exhausted. All that is, I ain't paying for that shit. I already spent all my money at fucking bondage ball, and it was a Sunday. Shout out Calico. Hence five! Obviously at 3 clubs. A burlesque with a live band. It was good for what it was. It was worth it though. Like, got in free. Then after that, we went to the Rainbow where I ran into my friend who I haven't seen in ages, Mindy, and her man actually works the Rainbow. The next night was KrashKarma. And oh god, it was badass. Especially when I got there just in time for Blacksmith.
I'm a mystery inside a riddle. The unseen leaving bodies and symbols. A clap back at the end of the simple retaliation for your negative dribble.
Ran into Draconis, ran into Shane, ran into a lot of people, including Eric and his lady Lisa. After that, we had to warp Tenet to Universal Bar and Grill for Silmar, Poor Kid. Angie was dancing, and she flashed her boobs.
Oh yeah!
The following week wasn't that special. Stayed in most of the week until I got paid. Then when I got paid, worked 10 to Long Beach, hung out with Then we all went to North Hollywood, a place called Victoria's to support the Hustleaholics. I babysat Kumar, and then came the Oscars.
Hollywood is a creative black hole from which there is no escape.
I'm glad DEI's going away. You know the Oscar nominations? 13 awards for that trendy movie on Netflix.
I've already given up, right?
God, Amelia Perez did not win all those awards. At least common sense is happening for Hollywood, sorta.
We have a trans woman nominated for Best Actress.
Who fucking cares?
The fact that this has taken such a hold in society, like it's a real thing, right? Like, we used to make fun of this back in the day, right? And now it's like a real thing. Like, oh my God, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, I question my sanity sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, Bill Maher points out fast.
When what you're doing sounds like an Onion headline, stop.
Sure, movies I never heard of won, and Demi Moore got snubbed again. That woman deserves it. I've never seen any of these movies, but fuck it. At least it wasn't virtue signaling, patting yourselves on the back. Bullshit.
Yeah, isn't that Babylon Bee article? God, I mean, fuck off, dude. I mean, you know, even with things kind of, all the DEI shit getting shut down, it's like, what, this is gonna last 4 years.
They're literally branded.
They already had that shit lined up.
First they called it ESG, and then now they're calling it DEI.
Yeah, was the last thing, but they got a new thing for it now.
I mean, come on.
This has been happening since, like, the first day Trump took office. All these fucking companies started putting out these fucking memos saying,
okay, alright people, DEI's getting shut down, but don't worry, we're gonna find a way around that shit. We're gonna fight this shit, and we're gonna do our shit anyway, regardless of what anybody tells us to fucking do. We don't want any money anymore. We have all the money, so fuck off. We're gonna do what we wanna do.
Friday, March 7th, Metal Mayhem 9th anniversary party at the Beach Club.
It's showtime.
So I made it a daytime venture. I visited Chrissy in her movie bin. I didn't go to visit her to get a conjugal visit. I went there because I wanted to check out the place because I want to recommend Sticky Peaky to go to there because Sticky Peaky's on the verge of becoming Crazy Chrissy.
Dude, you must feel like you have a wasp nest in your fucking head. Every fucking day with all this shit going on.
Okay, faggot, what's next?
I ended up going to my homeboy Miguel Milan, aka Vamp L's comic shop, Legion Comics. He's been
Nag.
check out his shop for like 10 years. He's affiliated with Luchador event.
Fuck yeah!
Oh no! What did you do?
Nothing much. Couldn't really stay there that long because I had to get to 3 clubs by 5-ish to meet up with my homeboy Juan, was the stage manager for. While there, I got there early enough to meet up with my homie Davey Boy, and we got some grub. And was early enough for the
Drink special. 50% off everything, 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, fucking diabolical.
Then it was the first band in the first room.
Jamie Foxx.
Then it was the first band in the
main room.
Deftones tribute band. Had a chick singer. And you know why that's perfect? Because if you think about it, Chino always had a chick voice anyway.
Snap.
Then a band called Vicious Licks played. They're always fun.
Nice.
Then Uncle Richard showed up and he talked my ear off, so I missed out on Unholy Anarchy. And I was there just in time to announce. They were badass. I announced them and shit.
Announcing the bands. That's why you got those kids.
Then when Nightmare played, that was a fucking show. We doubled up on everything. We had like, I think like, 12 dancers. Ran out of Jaeger and Bud.
Fuck yeah.
And everybody who never even go to these shows went there. Like Chris Gore's girlfriend.
I thought it was dead.
Shut the fuck up.
My homeboy Alex is part of that crew. And he can vouch for me, yeah, Chris Gore is not gay. Then we went to the after hours. We were the guitar player. And that's what I got so far. I'm not gonna do shit for the rest of this week until
March 21st at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. It's the return of Metal Mayhem with Rebel, the brain-eating amoeba, Icky Baby, and Dead Never Sleep.
And yes, I will be singing
March 28th, Kelly Magari presents Return to the world-famous Viper Room with special guests The Last Slice and Blake. It's 21 and over and $15 at the door. Goes on at 11 p.m. It'll be freaking epic, and you gotta be there. So return to the Sunset Strip, and it'll be badass.
Everybody got that?
Ever tries to like shame you with me by saying some dumb shit about?
Oh, this is just some redneck hate wants to live vicariously through you.
You can say,
Well, duh.
And no, I am not getting back with Crazy Bitch. Because I ain't gonna see you, like, you know, I can't bring you anywhere I can go because you're 86 from everywhere because you were stalking me. And like, all right, I can't bring you to my family's house because you were stalking me and burn a bridge with them. Can't bring you to any of my friends because same thing. So check up on you to make sure you haven't killed yourself yet. But that's basically it.
fuck, send her here. I think somebody held it for rent.
But I'm done with this bullshit. Like, you're not gonna watch this, but if you do like what you see here, comment, like, dislike, share it if you want. I go into more detail, but I'm just trolling you anyway. I mean, after all, you all can suck it. Shout out to my patron. Anarchy Superstar, Hollywood, and Mechanical Animals, Zach's first order. Kind of like the Dollars trilogy. Started with fucking Good, the Bad, the Ugly, then a few dollars more, then a fistful of dollars. You gotta watch it in reverse order, have it make sense. Good, the Bad, the Ugly takes place in the Civil War, and actually that's how he gets his poncho.
Okay.
Right? And then the second movie, that's the middle movie. And then the last movie, it's like, you know, him finally being a hero. So actually, yeah, it's in reverse order. Cause I watched him in order, then I watched a video essay on it, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
I actually appreciate things that are supposed to be in sequential order.
Well, duh.